Good morning, children. Today, once again, we are discussing the topic metals and non-metals. So, previous class we discussed introduction and one of the physical properties of metals and non-metals, that is physical state. So, today we will go some more physical properties of metals and non-metals. Okay, today we will discuss some more physical properties of metals and non-metals. What are they? One, yesterday we discussed physical state. Second one we are going to discuss lustrous. So third one we are going to discuss hardness. Fourth one we are going to discuss melting point and boiling point. Fifth one we are going to discuss density. And the sixth one we are going to discuss sonorous. If possible, seventh one also will discuss, that is ductility. So today in this session I will try to complete most properly all these physical properties. So one by one we will discuss once again. So second one we are discussing today, that is what? Lustrous. What is meant by lustrous? What is meant by lustrous? The lustrous is simply nothing but the materials which have bright surface and reflect the light. The materials which have bright surface and reflect the light, such a type of materials are called lustrous materials. So once again I am saying, what is meant by lustrous? The materials which have bright surface and reflect the light are called lustrous materials. Lustrous materials. Okay. So now the metals are lustrous or not. So if we take some metals, example iron, aluminium, etc. If we take the example iron, aluminium, copper, zinc, like this all metals, if you polish, what you will observe means this metal's surface will shine. Metal surface will shine. That indicates most of the metals are lustrous in nature. Most of the metals are what? Lustrous in nature. Sir, iron you said lustrous, aluminum you said lustrous, zinc, copper, all you are saying lustrous, then why you are using the word most? I am not saying that all the metals are lustrous in nature. I am saying that most of the metals are lustrous in nature. Suppose if we take the example, lead. It is also a metal. It is also a metal. But the lead is dull in nature. It is not lustrous, it is dull. That means in the metals also some exceptions are there. That's why I use the word most of the metals are lustrous in nature, but some exceptions are there, that is lead. So what about non-metals? So the materials which do not have bright surface. What I am saying? The materials which do not have bright surface are called as non-lustrous materials. Example is non-metals. Sir, that means all non-metals are not a lustrous, sir? No. Some of the non-metals are there. They are lustrous in nature. Example. In the non-metals also, some of the non-metals are, generally non-metals are non-lustrous. But some of the non-metals are there, they are lustrous in nature. What is that, sir? Example I am taking carbon. Example I am taking carbon. Sir, carbon is lustrous, sir. Yes, from the carbon only we are getting diamond, graphite, diamond and graphite crystals. Example of graphite crystals, you know, that is your pencil lids. If you shine the pencil, sorry, if you rub the pencil surface will shine. And if you observe the diamond, you obviously know how much shining the diamond is. But this diamond and graphite belongs to what? Non-metals. But general statement is what? Metals are lustrous in nature. Non-metals are non-lustrous. But in the metals also some exemptions are there. That is lead. In the metals also some exceptions are there. That is carbon. Is it clear, children? Now we'll go to the next physical property. What is the next physical property? It is written on the board. The next one is hardness. Next one, third one is what? Hardness. This side will write metals and this side will write non-metals. Okay, what about the metals? Metals are hard in nature or soft in nature? Which one? Suppose if you take iron rod, if I give iron rod for you, you can break it very easily. Is it hard or soft? Hard. If I give the aluminium rod, can you break it easily? It is also tough. That means by our general day-to-day life examples also, we can say very easily metals are hard in nature. Hard in nature. So why the metals are hard in nature, sir? The reason is due to presence of metallic bond. Due to presence of strong metallic bond between the atom to atom or particle to particle. I will explain next what is that. Okay, now come back once again. I am saying the statement. Metals are hard in nature due to the presence of metallic bond between the particle to particle of a metal. What about non-metals? Non-metals are soft in nature. Soft in nature. Why they are soft, sir? Why they are soft, sir? In these non-metals, suppose it is a non-metallic substance, we know that each and every substance is made up of small particles. Small particles. In a non-metal, between particle to particle, a weak van der Waals force, VAN, van der Waals force. Weak van der Waals forces are available. Due to the presence of weak van der Waals forces, non-metals are soft in nature due to the presence of strong metallic bond between the particles. Due to the presence of strong metallic bond between the particles, the metals are hard in nature. Is it clear, children? So once again I am discussing what are the metals. Metals are hard in nature, non-metals are soft in nature. Why metals are hard? Due to the presence of metallic bond between particle to particle. Why non-metals are soft? Due to the presence of van der Waals forces between the particle to particle. Is it clear? Sir, in the metals, any soft one are there, sir? Any exceptions are there, sir? Yes, in the metals also exceptions are there. What are the exceptions? So previously we discussed in the metals, mercury is liquid in state. That's why in the mercury also metallic bond is not strong. That's why mercury is soft. Not only mercury, sir, it is liquid. That's why soft means okay, sir. Any metal which is solid in state but still soft is there, sir. Yes. Example is sodium, symbol Na in your 1 to 30 elements, 11th element, potassium, symbol K in your 1 to 30 elements, 19th element. These two are very soft in nature. How much soft means you can cut these two metals with your knife. That much of soft. Although it is solid in nature, you can cut this with a knife. So this much of soft. Sir, in the non-metal, all are soft only, sir. Any hard non-metals are not there, sir. There. In the non-metals also, hard exceptions. What are that? So once again, carbon. Why carbon? In that carbon, what is there? I said diamond. Diamond is the hottest substance. Diamond is a hottest substance. That's why we can use the diamond to cut the glass and we can use to drill. That's why diamond is a non-metal, but it is a very hard substance. Why it is hard, sir? The reasons, what type of bonds are there, sir? The reasons and everything you can learn in the higher classes, that is in the 10th class. Okay? Now we will discuss the next physical property. Now we will discuss the next physical property, melting point and boiling point. Fourth one, melting point. I am denoting by MP, and boiling point I am denoting by BP. What is mean by melting point, sir? What is mean by melting point, sir? At what temperature? At what temperature the solid substance convert into liquid. Solid substance convert into liquid. Once again I am saying, what is meant by melting point? At what temperature the solid substances convert into liquid substance, that temperature we will call it as melting point of that material. Okay, now, what is the melting point? At what temperature the solid substance convert into liquid, that temperature is called as melting point of that substance or material. Then what is meant by boiling point, sir? Same. At what temperature the liquid substance, what temperature liquid substance convert into gases. Liquid substance convert into gases. Okay, at what temperature solid convert into liquid is called as melting point. At what temperature liquid convert into gaseous form is called as boiling point. What about the metals and non-metals? How this boiling point and melting points are? So this side I am writing for metals. This side I am writing for non-metals. For metals, we already know metals consist of what type of bonds? Strong metallic bond. That's why conversion will take a huge amount of temperature. Conversion will take a huge amount of temperature. That's why metals are having high melting point and boiling point. So what I am saying, metals are having high melting point and a high boiling point because of having metallic bonds. What about non-metals? Non-metals are having low melting point and boiling point. We know already the reason. The reason is because non-metals are having weak van der Waals bonds or weak van der Waals forces between the particles. That's why easily we can convert from solid to liquid or liquid to gases. That's why metals are having high melting and boiling point. Non-metals are having low melting point and boiling point. Okay, next we will go to the next physical property. So what is the next physical property? Density. Fifth one we are discussing. Density. What is meant by density? What is meant by density? If any substance in which the particles are closely packed. For example, in a particular area, more members are there, means population is more. We will say that it is a most dense area. In the same manner, any material in that particles are closely packed. They are highly density materials. So we know metals are solid in nature. Non-metals are what in nature? Gases in nature. Gases in nature. So if you observe the solid substances, suppose it is any iron substance, in this the particles are closely packed like this. Particles are very, very closely packed. Particles are closely packed. If you observe the non-metals, suppose it is a non-metallic substance. In this non-metallic substance, bromine or oxygen or nitrogen, particles are widely separated. Widely separated. That means between particle to particle, so much of distance is there. So much of distance is there. That's why if you take this a square of area, if these particles are more, that means is it a density one or low density one? What I said, the material in which particles are closely packed, it is having high density I said. That means what is the conclusion? Metals are having high density. Non-metals are having low density. Metals are having what? High density. Non-metals are having low density. Why? In the metals, most of the metals are existing in solid form. That indicates particles are very closely packed with a strong metallic bond. In the non-metals, particles are not closely packed. They are widely separated. That's why it is low density one. Is it clear, children? So next class, we will discuss the leftover remaining physical properties. So regarding this physical state, lustrous, hardness, melting point and boiling point and density. Up to these 5 physical properties, I kept the PPTs. In that I gave the notes clearly. Write down each and every point in your notes and go through it and try to learn in the same day only the notes and as well as the subject clearly. Okay. And note down. Yesterday I gave 1 to 30 elements. Children, do you learn? I said how you have to learn. In the sleeping time also, if I ask, you have to say correctly. That much of perfectly outlined. Clear, children? Learn once again today also 1 to 30 elements only. That is only I am giving as a homework for you. Thank you, children. Good morning, children. Go through the today notes. So once again I am giving the second one, the definition of metals and non-metals, physical properties, physical state I gave. Next lustrous property I gave. Then hardness also. Next melting point and boiling point and density. So up to now what we discussed, that all I gave as a notes. Write down, children, carefully and learn day to day. Thank you.